So it was almost 2 years ago to the day now that I posted this video right here. This is a deck tech video that I posted on December 20th, 2022. This was talking about my Garth One-Eye deck, and the whole thing with this deck was that the theme is it plays literally every card which has the phrase "you win the game" on it. And it's a very fun deck to play. It's not that good, but it's really fun. And as many of you may know, a little while ago, Wizards of the Coast came out with this secret Lair deck right here, which is called 20 Ways to Win. This one doesn't have literally every card that says you win the game on it, but 20 of them is a lot. I think there are 31 of them now, and they're all in my Garth deck. Even the ones which do literally nothing, like Battle of Wits, that card is in there just because it says you win the game. So it almost feels like Wizards took my deck and made it into a secret lair. I'm not saying that's what happened. It's definitely, it's possible for two people to have the exact same idea despite never knowing each other. Many people have probably thought of this idea before, but it's cool that, this is basically my deck, so naturally I had to get it. So we're going to open this up and take a look at it in this video. I have looked at the deck list, but I don't remember every specific card, so it'll be interesting to see how that differs from my Garth deck. And also, I definitely want to take a lot of the cards out of here to put some fancy new arts into my Garth deck. So I'm going to open this up right here, the 20 Ways to Win deck. I believe the commander for this one is the Go Shintai of Life's Origin, which is a really weird choice because the deck does absolutely nothing with shrines. It's just that's the commander because it's a 5-color commander that does stuff for enchantments, I guess. But I think Garth is a much better commander for this deck. He does, he does so much stuff. I've played this deck quite a lot actually, and I've found usually the first thing I do with Garth is I use him to make a Black Lotus to kind of get my ramp really going, and then a lot of the time I also will cast a Brain Geyser to draw a bunch of cards. But Terror is actually, I'll show you my cards that I have here. This is my Black Lotus that I use with Garth. Disenchant, I think I've used all of these cards. Brain Geyser is great. I've definitely used Regrowth. I don't think I've ever cast a Shivan Dragon with Garth. I have cast Terror though. But in this deck, let's see. So this is your life counter. I guess the theme for this one is raccoons or something. The art theme anyway. You have your counter. You have a poster here. This is very similar to the Cats and Dogs deck. There's a pattern. Alright, there's the poster. Pretty cool. I think that's the art for the Go Shintai. We'll put that over here. And this is our deck. I like the art on a lot of these cards here, actually. So yeah, this, you can see, you can return an enchantment from your graveyard to the battlefield, and it's a 5-color commander, but there's literally no other shrines in this deck, I think. So the second ability kind of does nothing. Anyway. So this is the thick cardstock version of it, and then you have your regular one right here. It's a little bit easier to see. Yeah, it does look really cool. And there's what, 10? I think 10 new fancy full art cards like this. So Approach of the Second Sun. I would say I'm definitely going to put this one in the Garth deck. Should I upgrade it as we go? That could be kind of interesting. So I have here separated. These are the cards that say you win the game. There are 31 of them here. There are some which I'm going to upgrade, or change at least, and some which I'm not going to. Approach of the Second Sun, though. Yeah, I think this one looks pretty cool. So this one can get out of here. This one can get in. Felidar Sovereign. It's another you win the game deck card, I should say. That one looks really cool also. That one, yeah, I'm going to put that one in. I'm not actually going to leave it right now. It's going to take forever. But I'll put that in this is the in pile. Happily Ever After. Yes. I can see myself playing that one. This is one of the easier ways to win the game, actually, with the cards that say you win the game. Some of them are incredibly hard to pull off. This one is quite easy. I have one with it before. That's going in. Triskaidekaphile. I'm not sure if I have won. I've won a game with Triskaidekaphile in a draft, in a Midnight Hunt draft, but I'm not sure if I've won with it in this deck. This is one of the pretty easy ones to do, though, Triskaidekaphile. That one's in. This one, I've definitely seen this one before, Revel in Riches. This is my favorite art in this deck of the new arts. I think this card looks awesome. I'm pretty excited to put this one in my Garth deck. This is another one where it's not so hard to win with Revel in Riches. This is a card where you can just kind of toss it in a deck that plays black and you can just win. Like, you don't need to build around this or anything. Revel in Riches is really good. Helix Pinnacle, I have won with this card before, actually. There's ways you can combo out. You just make infinite mana and you can just win with Helix Pinnacle. This one is not that hard to win with Helix Pinnacle. This one's probably in. The raccoon there. Simic Ascendancy, I don't think I've won with this one. It's in the deck, but I haven't won with it. It's a good card though. Like, even outside of the you win the game thing, it's not that bad of a card. Soul Ring. I already have a Soul Ring in the deck. It's a different one. It's actually a different Secret Lair Soul Ring. I'll show you. Where's my artifacts? This is the Secret Lair Soul Ring I have in here at the moment, so I don't know. Maybe I'll put the raccoon one in? We'll see. That can go in the maybe pile. Maze's End. So this is one. I don't think I've ever won with Maze's End, actually. This one, it's kind of funny because this was a standard deck when this was in standard, and people could win with it, but it feels pretty hard to win with Maze's End in Commander. I don't think I've ever done it. Normally, I would put this in the deck to swap out the arts. However, this Maze's End that I have right here, this one is special because a viewer gave this to me when I was at an event in Toronto, I believe. I think it was at 401 Games, but he said he liked my videos and he gave me this Maze's End, so I want to keep this one in the deck for that reason. I usually do that with cards that people give me. I'll just keep them and play them in my deck over, you know, things like this. But this is a cool Maze's End. So those are the different arts. There's some with different arts, but those are, you know, the fancy ones. And then this is the bonus card in the back here, Enduring Ideal. It's kind of a weird choice, I guess, but it's cool. I mean, it's not it's not something that I would choose to put in the deck, but you could. It looks nice though. It's cool art. See how the deck differs though. I do not play this in the Garth deck Monologue Tax. It's just kind of like a good stuff card. You know, you can just put it in whatever deck and it'll be fine. Pariah, no, it's just, you know, an enchantment. I play this, so a little while ago I made the deck where the goal is to draw the game every time, and this is in that deck actually. Combos with, I think, Stuffy Doll. Test of Endurance, this is in here. I have a cooler version of it though, I have the old one. So that one, no, we're not swapping. And Mechanized Production, that's definitely in here also. I'm not sure if I've ever won with Mechanized Production. This is another one where this is just a good card. You know, you don't need to build around it. You can just play this in a deck, and even if you don't win the game with it, you just make copies of stuff and it's good. I remember I put this on a Chromatic Lantern once and just had a whole bunch of Chromatic Lanterns. Mystic Remora, it's just a good stuff card. Not really thematic or anything, that's not in the Garth deck. Same with Ghoulish Impetus. Liliana's Contract. This is a cool one. This is another one where it's good outside of the win the game thing. I'm not sure if I've won the game with Liliana's Contract, but I've played it many times because simply just playing this to draw 4 cards, that's good. You know, 5 mana, draw 4. It's a pretty good rate. Mael's Aria, I haven't won with this one. This is just another good card. Definitely in the deck. I haven't won with it though. Auriok Champion is a... why is this in the deck? Yeah, I don't get it. Is there like a life gain combo? Is that one of the ways you can win? I guess maybe it's in the deck for that reason. Actually, there's a checklist here with ways to win. No, I don't see a life gain combo on there. Anyway, it's a weird inclusion. Austere Command is just good stuff. Same with Clever Concealment. This is a good reprint though. There's one that was getting pretty pricey. The Eternal Wanderer. Why is Why is this in the deck? This is another good stuff card. Halo Fountain, though. This card, this is one of the win the game ones. It's a really cool card. I play this in multiple decks. I think I have a cooler version in here also. Maybe it's in a different deck. Heliod. It's probably combos with stuff. Here's Heliod's Intervention. Oh, there you go. That's kind of thematic. Mangara the Diplomat. I don't know. It's just a lot of the cards that I'm looking at here. I'm questioning how do these fit the theme other than they're just like cards that are good in a 5-color deck. Shalai, yeah. Sunscorch Regent. I'm seeing a lot of life gain stuff. Sun Titan. It's kind of a ubiquitous white good stuff card. Tragic Arrogance. Okay. Drowning Dreams. Rite of Replication. This was a consideration for a long time for my Garth deck, and maybe I should have this in here, because there are cards, Biovisionary, you want to make a bunch of copies of that. Instead of Rite of Replication, I have Progenitor Mimic. It's slower, but I don't know. This is just what I chose instead of Rite of Replication. Maybe I should have this in instead. I'll put that in the maybe pile. This is the maybe pile. 20-toed Toad. It's one of the most recent inclusions, actually. This one is really easy to win with as well. 20-toed Toad. So you win the game if there are 20 more counters on it, or if you have 20 more cards in your hand. So there's 2 ways you can win with this. Yeah. Yeheni? I don't. Why is that here? Hellkite Tyrant. Yes, that makes sense. So you win the game card. Torian Mauler. This actually does make sense with Liliana's contract. You want shapeshifters, so you want demons with different names. So yeah, that's a good inclusion. Augur of Autumn, just more good stuff. Dryad, yeah, that makes sense also because it's a 5-color deck. So this really helps you with your color fixing. That's one thing that I've noticed playing the Garth deck. It's you're really stuck on colors sometimes. You really need a lot of color fixing. If you can get Garth out, it's a lot easier because you can start like casting Black Lotuses and stuff. Then you're kind of good at that point, but you gotta get your 5 colors pretty fast. Forgotten Ancient, I don't know why. Sanctum Weaver, yeah, okay, there's a lot of enchantments. That does make sense. Can ramp you a lot. Seedborn Muse, just good stuff card. Tireless Tracker. I don't know why that's there. This makes sense, actually. That's interesting. It's not something I would consider for playing in the Garth deck, but that does make sense, because you could end up with a lot of your enchantments in the graveyard. A lot of the you win the game cards are enchantments, and this could just bring a bunch of them back to play if it's late in the game. You could probably combo off that way. Faber Welder, I like this inclusion. I play this in... Oh, wait, is that in this deck? It might actually be in my Garth deck. It should be. Let me check my creatures. If it's not, then I should put it in right now. I have Bloom Tender. Maybe I have Bloom Tender instead of it. That's possible. Because Bloom Tender and Faber Welder both say for each color among a permanents you control, add 1 mana of that color. So if you have Garth out, you just tap this for 5 mana, which is awesome. Maybe I should add this in just as like a second copy of Bloom Tender. Kineos and Hero of Meletus. This one was getting expensive as well. It's like a group hug card. Sphinx's Revelation. I don't mind that inclusion. It doesn't really fit with anything, but gain life, draw cards, scalable. It's good. Supreme Verdict, yeah, sure. It's a Wrath. I usually like to have at least 1 board wipe in each of my decks, just as an answer to whatever. Chromatic Lantern, yes, definitely, that should be in here. That's in my deck as well. Hangerback. Wait, so is the Heliod combo in this? No, that's Walking Ballista is the Heliod combo. Does this combo with something? I don't know. Maskwood Nexus, yes, okay. Good with Liliana's contract. Baldur's Gate, so yeah, if Maze's End is in here, you're going to need a bunch of gates. Imagine we're going to see a bunch of those, right? We're in the lands near now. Bountiful Promenade, Brushland, okay. Homeward Path is a good inclusion. Some decent lands in this deck, actually. Despite having a whole bunch of gates in it, you would think that the mana base would probably be really crappy, but there's some pretty good inclusions in here, like the Promenade, Brushland. You got some good cards here. Reflecting Pool, that's good. Definitely World Tree, I play that in my Garth deck as well. It's basically just like a Chromatic Lantern on a land. Darksteel Mutation. Okay, just some kind of generic cards here now. And one thing you might notice with some of these cards, ones like this, they have the Planeswalker symbol here, like the Mystery Booster kind of things, or the list. These ones don't. That's because these ones are different because they have the enchantment frame here. So this is a new style of this card that's never been printed before. Impetus, Fertile Ground, Lignify, Trace of Abundance. Another, why? Okay, so there are kind of, I just realized there are shrines in this deck, because there are shapeshifters and like Maskwood Nexus and things like that, so there are ways to interact with Go Shintai's second ability here. So that's making more sense now. Crib Swap, Soul's Attendant. There's so much life gain stuff. Morbid Opportunist. Circuitous Route, Biovisionary, yes, of course. You want that. Arcane Signet, Lightning Greaves. Some more Guild Gates and stuff. The Baldur's gates, the Black Dragon Gate, Citadel Gate, and things like that, those are so much better than Guild Gates. Is Gaunt Gate in here? If it's not, it should be. I don't know if I went past it or not. It's basically the best gate, though. Forbidden Orchard. Yeah, there it is, Gaunt Gate. Add one of any color that a gate you control could produce. Gates you control enter untapped. Yeah, that's a good gate. Heath Gate, Manor Gate, all the gates. Yep. A Thornglint Bridge, why? Because it's an artifact, I guess? I don't know. 2 basics, so that's interesting because in my Garth deck I also have exactly 2 basics. I don't think it's the same ones. My lands here. I have a forest and an island. They have a plains and a forest. Interesting. Got those there. And then you get a couple of shrine tokens. There's nothing on the back of these, but it's cool because shrines, that was one of the rare tokens from the Kamigawa set where the Go Shintai came from. The shrine was a pretty pricey token, so getting these included in the deck with a fancy new style, that's actually a pretty good inclusion. This definitely adds value to the deck. And then you got some regular tokens here as well. Treasure, Samurai, anything cool on the back? That's some pretty standard tokens. Interesting. So that is the that's the secret Lair deck. So I guess these are the ones that I'm gonna swap in now, basically. Yeah, and I was looking at a lot of the cards that I looked in here. Kind of just make me scratch my head and like, why are these in here? They're good, but they don't fit the theme so much. I'm not sure if I would want to play any of these. I would consider playing Tori and Mauler. The rest, I don't know. And then the Rite of Replication as well. So, yeah, I was saying I play literally every card that says you win the game in this. So let's take a look at the cards, the you win the game cards that I have in my Garth deck, which are not included in here. So Maze's End is in. These ones are in. I don't think there was a Lab Maniac in this deck. There was no Ramses. I don't believe this card was there, was it? There was Biovisionary, Toad, Halo Fountain. Darksteel Reactor is cool. That's not in there. Neither is Jace. Epic Struggle. This is a hard one to win with Epic Struggle. Revel in Riches is in. Mechanized, Test of Endurance, Happily Ever After. Yes. Barren Glory? I don't think there was Barren Glory, was there? I've won with this before. This combos with, there's a card in here. It's a sorcery. I want to show it to you because it's a really cool combo. This Decree of Annihilation. If you have Barren Glory and the Barren Glory out, if you cast this, you kind of just win. Because this exiles everything but enchantments. You know, all artifacts, creatures, lands, all cards in your hand, all cards in the graveyards. So, yeah. You pretty much win. Helix Pinnacle, that one is in. It's right there, actually. This was not there. This is. Was Chance Encounter? I don't think it's in this deck. Mortal Kombat. This one is really hard to win. I've never run with this. Mortal Kombat. You need 20 more creatures in your graveyard. There are not many creatures in this deck. This is actually probably quite easy to win with in other decks where you can build around this card specifically, but the thing is in this deck you need to put so many weird cards in it to facilitate all of the win conditions that there just isn't enough room to make something like this work well. Simic Ascendancy is in Mirror. I'm not sure about Mirror March, Near Death Experience. So these two, Hedron Alignment and Battle of Wits, Battle of Wits does nothing, but it says you win the game, so it's in the deck for thematic reasons. Hedron Alignment, you cannot win with it, with the win the game clause. You can't do it, it's not possible. But at least you can pay 2 and scry 1, so the card does do something. The only thing you can do with this is like pitch it to Force of Negation or something. And then this is my Thassa's Oracle. It's a 1/3. I didn't see it in here, so let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 win conditions, I think, that I have in my deck that are not in this one. So it is very similar. So that was pretty cool to take a look at. It was interesting to see just how similar this was to the deck that I had, and definitely going to enjoy putting these in my Garth deck. If you haven't seen the deck tech video for my Garth deck, I encourage you to go check it out. I go pretty in detail about how to win with each of the win conditions and why I chose to put each card in the deck, but the video is about 2 years old at this point, so honestly I probably could make a new video about it. The deck has probably changed a decent amount by then anyway. I'll put a link to that in the video description below though, and if you're still watching though, thanks for watching. It'd be cool if you can like and subscribe and all that kind of stuff. I'd encourage everyone to come join my Discord server. You can find a link to that in the video description below. You can also find a link to my store where you can buy custom playmats and tokens, and also my Patreon where I have the Token of the Month tier where you get a new custom foil token mailed to you every month. But regardless of which tier you're on, I'd like to thank all the patrons that support me on Patreon. And otherwise though, thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you later.